If we could please call the roll, Tracy.
Chair Frankel.
I'm present.
Vice Chair Burns.
Here.
Deputy Vice Chair Petrolia. Commissioner Boylston.
Here.
And Commissioner Long.
Here.
Thank you. May I have someone, a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second?
Vice Chair Burns.
Yes.
Deputy Vice Chair Petrolia. Commissioner Boylston.
Yes.
Commissioner Long.
Yes.
And Chair Frankel.
Yes. We have several presentations, 7-minute time kept, just to remind everyone. I know it says Renee's going to introduce Marjorie, but Marjorie, come on up. Arts Garage, you're first. Do you have a specific...
Well, I'll intro what we're doing here. So,
great.
Renee Jadising, Executive Director. These are the A-Guide workshop presentations for fiscal year 23-24. And first, we're starting with Marjorie at Arts Garage.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm going to see if I can complicate your effort to keep me in 7 minutes. I'm just kidding. So Arts Garage is an amazing place, and it's really exciting to me to be here. I was remembering earlier today in preparation for the meeting where we were when I started in October of 2016, and it's really cool to be here today. So do you have a clicker?
You can use the keyboard.
Oh, looky. Okay. All right, good. So we're asking for the same money. We never ask for more. We always ask for the same, and we use it wisely. For example, today we hosted the fire chiefs of Palm Beach County, and that was really cool to see all those uniforms. Men in uniform. I got a thing for them.
Whoa.
What am I supposed to, stand in line? Is that what I heard? Okay, there we go. Oh no, how do we go back?
I think she said.
Okay, so there are some
TMI.
photos of what we do. You can see our gallery on a First Friday Art Walk. We probably see about 15,000 people come through our free gallery. It's emerging artists, but I would, if you didn't know that, I would challenge you to tell me you thought so when you saw the work that's being curated by Naja Hardman on the wall. We do music and we do theater and all kinds of other things. So how do I make that play? And how do I make it bigger?
Hello, Delray Beach!
Arts Garage is an amazing place. It is a multidisciplinary performing and visual arts center located in the heart of Delray Beach in Pineapple Grove Arts District. We produce so many different events each year that include music, theater, comedy, open mic nights for emerging artists, arts education for adults and youth, and lots of volunteer and community activities.
What's really unique about Arts Garage is the variety of offerings, the different types of art. There's painting, there's drawing exhibits, there's performance arts.
Arts Garage is a listening room. Although we have a bar, we're not a bar. So when people are here, they're here because they're aficionados of a specific genre of music that we offer. You can find rock and roll, you can find Motown, you can find blues or jazz or Latin music, as well as engaging and relevant theater.
You guys sit back out there with your daddy before you smash!
They really do get top performers. The variety is incredible.
It gives us tremendous pride to see what this place has become.
We seat people in cabaret tables, and that means that if you only buy 2 seats at an 8-seat table, you're meeting 6 other people, sometimes from Delray Beach and the surrounding area, and sometimes from another country.
It always surprises me when we come to a function, a shared table with people we don't know, and find out that these particular people have never been to the Arts Garage before.
People engage each other in conversation, make friendships, and enjoy sharing the art they see on the stage. One of the pillars of what Arts Garage attempts to do in our community is provide a space for emerging artists, both visual and performing. By our definition, an emerging visual artist is one who has not had a solo exhibition. The Marshall Family Foundation Gallery at Arts Garage showcases emerging artists. We do that through our open mic nights in poetry, comedy, and all arts, where you can play a trumpet, or sing a song, or do a magic act. our emerging comedians get on the stage and try out new material.
I spent every dollar the moment I made it.
And getting feedback from a community of hopeful comedians or people who'd like to make a living doing that art form.
Why are you so angry, 4-year-old?
Visitors of Delray Beach are drawn to the Arts Garage space. They're drawn because we have this amazing location thanks to the city of Delray Beach. So as you leave your hotel to walk 2 blocks, they stop, they look in the window, they come in the gallery, they take a program to find out what's coming on the stage, and they fit it into their trip.
Delray Beach is extremely unique and eclectic. Once you come here, you never want to leave. You find places like Arts Garage that is just a gem that you don't have in other communities. So we really want to foster that and build our community through the arts.
You feel as if you're in a cosmopolitan place, but it's a small town feeling.
There's always something you will enjoy here. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young. It doesn't matter where you've come from or what your life experience is. You can see yourself reflected on our stage. Arts Garage is a big part of why Delray Beach is known as an arts destination.
Cool video, right? Very cool. We're growing up a little bit, so we're kind of doing some fancy stuff, and you saw some stars from the dais that were up there too, which was cool. Okay. I'm really struggling to operate anything. How do I get to the next page? I did it. Oh, okay. Let's try the one to the left. Lord have mercy. Back to that. Okay, so we do music, theater, and comedy. I'm really excited about having, for the first time since I came, I was a theater major undergrad at UVA, and one of the reasons I took the job at Arts Garage was because of theater, which I had to cancel within 2 months of beginning the job because it was killing our budget. We have a 3-performance season with a subscription for the 3 shows, which is really cool. Stand-up is once a month, first Fridays, with an incredibly diverse lineup of professional touring comedians. We have all of these metrics, which are awesome. I'm sure you have it in front of you and that I don't need to read it to you. Visitors to our website last month were 14,000. We have a combination of 5 social media platforms, and I can't remember the number, but it's like 20-something thousand followers. So we're becoming, one of the fire guys told me today, we're the best kept secret. I don't think we're so much of a secret anymore. And that's a really fun thing to see and be able to say. Those are the 3 theater seasons. You can see just about every genre. If you tell me a genre that I don't have, I will book it. Community driven, there's the author speak and a bunch of other things that we do for the city to thank you for that great rent. And I'm done. Wasn't that good?
Well,
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Thank you.
It always helps to have a 4-minute video and a 7-minute presentation. That's the key.
Smart, right?
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Absolutely. I'd like to open up to my fellow board members for their comments.
I'll just say that I think you recapped it quite well in only really 3 minutes after the video. It's been quite a story, from the beginning, and I think it's been just incredible, the part of the story that involves your leadership.
Thank you.
And really looking forward to seeing what's next on the horizon, because I know you're not one to stand still, and of course we'll be in support.
Thank you.
Just want to say that you've done an amazing job, and I always enjoy looking at your outline, and not always made it down, but I've made it down for a couple of shows, and you're doing a great job. So
thank you,
congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you.
Eclectic, inclusive. You have really taken this the whole program to exactly where the commission, when we first talked with you, asked you to go. I'm proud of your summer camps as well, to make sure that there's inclusion in the arts for the kids that aren't even getting a lot of that any longer in the school system. So it's really great to be able to spread that, because that's something that, it's just a wonderful thing to carry forward. And I'm going to still mention it because I think you did one of the best jobs of pivoting during a time when nobody was doing anything, and that was during COVID. And I have to tell you, out of everybody out there, I think you did the best job of pivoting. So kudos to you on everything you're doing.
Very grateful.
Yeah, just to share the comments of my colleagues. You nailed the presentation, and I'd like to commend you and your team for just doing an amazing job year over year in really building something that I think represents the culture of Delray. It's really impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Marjorie, you took a space that was in severe trouble, and it's just flourished. Delray's very proud to be a very diverse town, and through your programming, you've embraced that. One thing, you received money from the county, because I was one of the people that voted on that. I know Spady did as well. Maybe if you could share some of your tips to some of our nonprofits, because there are county dollars there that are just waiting to be applied for.
I'm available for a small hourly fee. Just kidding. My friends helped me. The Spady helped me because it was my first run at it. So I'm, of course, happy to help anybody that would like it.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for all the compliments.
Next, Miss Evelyn Dobson. Come on down, the Delray Beach CLT.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
My name is Anthony Holliday Jr. Currently, I'm the president of the Delray Beach Community Land Trust. I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be here. On behalf of our board, and there are some of our board members who are present. Herman is sitting in the corner in the back hiding, and Gary is sitting over there. We'd just like to extend our sincere appreciation and thanks to the CRA for the assistance that you all have provided to us that help. That help us to achieve our mission, which is to provide affordable housing to low to middle income individuals. Despite the fact that recently we've been in an affordable housing crisis, to with the construction costs, inflation, higher mortgage rates, higher interest rates, etc. But we trust that the relationship that has been established between our organizations will continue into perpetuity. And without further ado, our CEO, Evelyn Dobson, will continue with where we're going from here and the kinds of things that we're planning for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, CRA staff. I can't beat Marjorie because I don't have the fancy video and the pictures and etc. But I am going to give you, we were asked to be specific for the presentation, and I'm going to try to stick to that. But for some of you who are not aware, I wanted to let you know how we got our start. In 2001, FAU did a joint study specifically for the city of Delray, and this is my golden book. The study was Development Without Displacement Community Handbook, and the Land Trust was one of the options in the handbook. It was presented. We did all of our due diligence and everything. I was on the CRA board at the time, and the Delray Beach Community Land Trust was formally founded in January of 2007. And since that time, our operations have never stalled. We have had some hurdles. We have had the housing downturn. We have had some barriers, but the operations has been ongoing largely, I would say almost 100%, due to the support from the CRA in addition to the city. We were asked to give you an update on our 2022-2023 A-Guide. On the homeownership side, unfortunately, we're a little bit behind our goals that we set for the year due to several factors: cost of construction, available land, interest rates, and pre-qualification criteria for homeowners. But despite that, we're going to keep moving on, and on the screen it shows you where we are. But on the rental side, we have done great. Due to the relationship with the CRA, and we are managing your own properties, in addition to the few that we own ourselves, all of the units are 100% occupied. The rental housing piece affords us revenue, ongoing revenue to sustain our operations ongoing. Experts have said that in the city of Delray Beach, with the lack of available land, the high cost of apartment buildings, in the next decade, we will be approximately 5,471 units short if we continue to grow. But what we do is just I consider it a dip in the bucket, but we're not the only housing program in Delray. We're just one that offers an alternative for low to moderate income households. With the A guide for the upcoming fiscal year, our ask was 20% of our budget. In the first column, it shows the program budget line items and the numbers, and what our ask was, which was $213,710. And I think I said it's 20% of the total budget. That's what we have asked. We have always, over the years, tried to sustain ourselves and never asked for more than 25%. I think one year in the past, I think it was 2021-22, we asked for a little bit more than the 25%, but we've always tried to operate within the parameters of the A-Guide program. We were also asked to let you know where we are, an overview of our activities for the upcoming year. Our current homeownership pool consists of 95 owner-occupied units. By the end of 2024, we hope to be at 100 households. In the next fiscal year, these are the numbers and our targets that we hope to hit. We are currently, as far as acquisitions, we are going to try to utilize the restricted funds in addition to our own funds to purchase vacant land and or existing units. Next month, we will close on a duplex that will add to our revenue stream from the next year and in the future. Rental housing, you can applaud, I'll applaud you, because we have so many people come in our office because they can't find a two-bedroom rental unit anywhere in Delray for $1,000 or better. So we address their needs. We do ongoing workshops for our homeowners so that they're educated, because there's no such thing as knowing everything once you become a homeowner. And I also found that the cost of living in Delray is 16% higher than the national average. And our program address very low to moderate income households who are least likely to become homeowners or be able to secure rental housing. Our current homeownership application pipeline consists of more than 21 households. More than half of them are already pre-qualified for a mortgage, but our challenge is making it works for them. We don't want to set anybody up to fail. So we have to make sure the costs work, the interest work, and everything else works in their best interest. But we do have one lending partner that they're going to hold their interest rate to 4.75 for all CLT first-time home buyers. So I am very happy that I represent the organization, work under the leadership of the board, and in partnership with the CRA. And in the future, we're going to keep doing our best as we always have. And if you have any questions for me, I'm here.
Thank you so much. Start over here this time.
Thank you for the presentation. Just want to thank you guys for everything you do. It's really crucial right now for our community. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Can you put that screen up there again with your budget?
The other one? The budget one?
The budget one. I just had a question about it. Yeah, so you're saying that the annual budget is $1,045,500, but I'm looking at the bottom, I'm seeing 253,10. Is this your budget, or is this?
In the first column?
Yes.
For those specific line items? Those are the line items that we're asking for funding on, but we're not asking for 100%
Gotcha.
of each one of those line items.
Okay, so your entire budget is $1,045,000, but
Yeah.
you're asking for less. These are the items that you're asking us for assistance for, and you're actually asking less than that. Okay,
Yes.
It didn't follow that, so
That's okay.
I appreciate that. I just want to say that. First of all, I wanted to just acknowledge that it's really hard to follow somebody who's in the entertainment, industry. That I'm sorry that you got pulled the short straw there. However, to say that this is not important or as important would be just absolutely wrong. It is so important to our community, and the fact that you are offering something when you're building and selling, to somebody a product that stays in the system of our inventory for affordable housing is great. It's too quick on a lot of these, especially in other areas where they're in 15 years they're going off.
Yes.
We are not making land, so if we don't have inventory where people can come in and either rent or specifically purchase, we're going to end up with no ability to be able to provide. And that's why I say that your product is so important to what we're offering here. It's not the only product, as you said, but I think that it's very important to know that we've got some years or some decades of time for these builds that we're putting money into to remain in that inventory for future generations and future people that are going to be purchasing. And then again, I love the fact that you're focused also on rentals. Not everybody is a good homeowner or can come with a down or continue to be able to afford the cost of a home, because if you're renting, you know what your amount is, and you don't have to worry and about whether or not a big item goes out, like an air conditioner or your roof or whatever. And that's where home ownership comes in, but renters don't have to worry about that. So to offer that affordable housing at that price in Delray Beach, I think it's absolutely so important. You're doing a great job. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. You're skipping off yourself. Well, just want to thank you for the presentation. And, the CLT was not my favorite strategy. However, as I've conducted my own research and I've talked to you in the past, way back in the beginning, and I want to continue to learn as much about it, I do realize that it is a very useful strategy to address the affordable housing issues that we have. And kudos to your organization for the 95 owner-occupied units. Also, I'm very interested in the orientation workshops that you have. So, and I did see that you sent some correspondence, so I'll be looking forward to attending at least one of those. So, thank you.
We'll look for you.
Okay, I'll be there.
Great. Can we get that slide up in regards to the overview? I think it was a slide. I think it was the last slide.
That one.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out here, I know for a lot of our residents, the CLT, we just think of the finished home project, right? The photo of the house. And there's so much more that your organization does, and I think this slide really captures all of that. You can't take a photo of everything that you do.
No.
So the house usually gets the front of the paper, right? But you guys do so much more than that, and I think that's so important for us to even help you communicate. What's the full view of our partnership, of our funding, and what does it go towards? I know you have your board and you have team. You guys know it inside and out. But I think this is really important, this slide here, and everything that your organization does. It isn't just about the building of the houses. There's so much more to it than that. So thank you for all that you do, and of course I'll be in support.
Thank you.
And Evelyn, it's always good to see you. It's always good to hear your presentations.
Thank you.
I mean, obviously you have so much on your plate, and your talents are amazing, but I think I'm most impressed that you run a board with Herman Stevens and Gary Leopoulos. I mean,
it's not easy.
But it's always good to see all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Next up, we'd like to have the Historical Society. Winnie.
Hi.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm a little bit of a plague, but I got a haul, so I'll be okay.
Good. It's good to see you, Herman.
Thank you. I want to make sure I have this out. I push the enter button to advance. Is that correct?
I'll take their word for it.
Arrows. Press the arrows.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Winnie Edwards with the Delray Beach Historical Society. Thank you for having us here today. And I know there's a couple of you that are going off the commission, so I wanted to thank you on behalf of our board for supporting us all these years, and especially to Mayor Petrolia, who has been a champion for Delray Beach historic preservation. Thanks.
Always will be.
I am on the verge of crying, and there's no other reason except for this long COVID, so I really apologize. I'm not as emotional as I look. I'm okay. Our partnership goes back with the CRA before our A-Guide participation. In 2007, with state grants, Historical Society fundraising, city and CRA contributions, a total of $550,000 was raised to move the Hunt family home over to our campus. It's now the Ethel Sterling Williams History Learning Center and Archives. Rescuing the 1908 Florida farmhouse from demolition and moving it and restoring it resulted in Delray Beach being designated one of the nation's Preserve America communities, which was a White House initiative. Our Program A is called Cultural Heritage Exhibit, Museum, and Learning Center Program. And it features two categories of our nonprofit contributions to Delray Beach. Number one is preservation services, and that includes the acquisition and the continuous preservation of Delray Beach's historical assets. The acquisition, preservation, and digitization is conducted using the Society of American Archivists best practices and professional standards. In addition, we provide free research to all on a daily basis. Part two of our program is called Programming and Events. Ultimately, all the priceless and irreplaceable assets are shared with the community in form of history exhibitions, lectures, oral history, video productions, classes, workshops, tours for schools and adults, celebratory events, summer camp, our participation in city events, pop-up exhibits, our book club, and partner programs with area organizations. So now let's share what this looks like and how we utilize your money. Sure. I may have to ask you in a minute. So anyway, how we use your money. The City Archive is an important and vital repository for the official record of our town, but it's also a treasure trove and resource to educate yourself and to find inspiration and ideas and to learn from the past as we live and work together in a changing Delray Beach. Just in the past year, we've accessioned over 800 new items. 800 new items into the archive. Even our new off-site auxiliary archive is filling up. As Delray Beach grows, so does the demand for our resources. Research requests are on the upswing. Many who visit are surprised how busy we are. We've digitized more of our multimedia library. With student interns, we're currently working on indexing transcripts to make our oral histories and interviews available online. This year, we purchased new cataloging and digitizing software called Catalogit. We continue to reorganize the archive for space efficiency, and we purchased one upgraded computer and a new server for better security backups. Our important Elder Circle continues. Our Delray Beach Historical Backroads documentary series, available now through our website and our YouTube channel, is a series that takes viewers on tours of Delray Beach backroads, treasured locales, and historic sites that you may not have heard of. And we're also increasing the frequency of our blog storytelling, which is turning out to be wildly popular, so we hear. Next slide, this one right here, okay. All right, T. Our two permanent history exhibits, La Florida and Delray Beach, The Last Frontier, are thriving with visitors year-round, and they continue to be a resource for our school groups. Our World War II Delray Beach Homefront exhibit's been up for 2 years, but it's coming down this month. It's been one of the most visited and well-received exhibits we've displayed, with a vast amount of age groups that have toured. We built a new exhibit this year outdoors called Sports in Paradise. Hope you all got to see it. It explored how leisure sports, golf, tennis, polo, and fishing established Delray Beach as a sportsman's playground. And it also took a nostalgic look back at local school sports of Delray and those athletes that became local heroes, with some moving on to national and international fame. We delivered events and programs such as the Heritage and Garden Lectures, annual summer camp, our Fall Fest with the Rotary Club, outdoor movie series, art and nature workshops, events such as Twilight in the Garden, Art in the Garden, which supports local artists, our book club, our off-site presentations, and our annual holiday festivities. Connecting with the community and outreach through citywide events with other partners and displaying our pop-up exhibits around town is important to us. We participated in Delray Fair, Climate and Art, Leadership Delray, Art and Jazz. We also created a hospitality and tourism night and continue collaborations with the library, the Chamber of Commerce, Speedy Cultural Heritage Museum, the Institute of Regional Conservation, the Rotary Club, Atlantic High School, Cocoa Plum School, Quezon United Methodist Church, Swinton Community Growing Project, Old School Square, the Florida Native Plant Society, Community Greening, Sandaway Discovery Center, the Set Neighborhood, Area Historical Societies, the Preservation Trust, Florida Humanities, the city's Historic Preservation Department, and EJS Project, and others. Ryan took that picture in the middle, by the way. We've been working on campus improvements all year, including the maintenance of our Florida Native Heritage Garden with 6 habitats. This is a wonderful asset for Delray Beach, not only as a tranquil destination, but as an outdoor classroom for all ages to enjoy right in the heart of downtown. With both our volunteer garden club and professional services, this is becoming a full-time effort. Some improvements this year included a new, more stable pond wetland, planting more rare and endangered species, adding exterior lighting, and we're in the midst of building a much-needed garden shed. What's ahead? We're really excited about next year. We really are. We're so thankful to the construction work that's going on right now because the city of Delray Beach is, oh gosh, you guys, can I just have one more second?
Please go ahead.
The archive is growing. One of the things we're really excited at Palm Beach County School System, I don't know if you've heard about it, but they've got this program called Community Experiences. So all the paperwork and documentation that you need to get school buses has been eliminated. So we're now getting calls like every single day to have bus loads of 10th grade students dropped off at our location, and we're just giddy over there. We're so excited. We're trying to figure out how we're going to accommodate it all. This is going to be throughout the whole year. We're launching a new exhibit, 1950s and 1960s. This is going to be so fun for Delray. It's going to be up for 2 years. It's post-World War II optimism, tourism and development, the civil rights movement, transformational 60s, fashion, music, politics, and countercultural themes. It'll be up in 2 buildings with multimedia and graphic panels. We've got lectures coming up. We're working on something with the city and the Preservation Trust called Building Historic Delray with Legos. I'll tell you about that later. We have 50 buildings, and families can come in and build historic structures with Legos, and then we're going to have the exhibit open for 2 days at the historic gym. We're working on historic kiosks with Sunday Village, and I know that Speedy's working on those as well. And I'd like to tell you about the rest. Well, I want to talk about tourism just for a second, because it does brings in almost $7 billion. Heritage tourism brings in almost $7 billion into the Florida economy. So we're trying to connect more with hotels and tourism institutions. We have a tourism night with local hotels. We're doing history happy hours this coming season with a couple restaurants to raise money for the garden. The garden is like, you build it and they will come. Mm-hmm. It's bigger than us. It's a lot of work, that garden. Our events are coming back: Christmas, Fall Fest, Twilight, and our most important slide is the next slide, but I know I don't have time to read it. But there's important things in here. I know that you have this in your presentation. But we're really happy with our ability to create a sense of place and to elevate civic pride, inclusion, and social connectivity. We're communicating the value of historical societies and preservation. We're fostering an appreciation for Delray's family histories, its unique assets, its landmarks and neighborhoods. And we're investing in the protection of historic places. We're grateful and honored to be here today and ask you for $75,000, which is 17% of our operating budget for next year. Thank you. I'm sorry about the additional time.
So we're grateful and honored to have you here, Winnie, and all the great work you do.
Thank you.
Ms. Burns, would you like to kick off comments?
Yes, I'm so glad to see you again. I know you've been battling with your health, so glad to see you
I'm
again.
actually better, but I'm 3 months into this, so.
I know it's been a while, taking a toll on you, but glad to see you here.
Thank you.
Just appreciate all the work that you do. And from the moment I met you a couple of years ago and stepped into the Historical Society and saw relatives up on the mantelpiece, I felt like home. So, just happy about the work that you do and the importance that the Historical Society play in our great city. So
thank you. It's our pleasure.
I think the only thing more impressive than what you do with that little piece of property is the amount of mediums you use to tell stories. And I think we've all enjoyed, whether it was the photography exhibit during the pandemic that we all got to take part in, or now these mini documentaries that are being put out online, utilizing email and social media. You launched a new website within the last year or two, which has been a fantastic asset. And then just to see that every single corner of that little property you utilize, and you mentioned that photo. One of the neatest things I think I've done in Delray in a long time is just sit outside in that garden and watch one of my most favorite movies, Almost Famous, with your journalism series, which I thought was just fantastic.
Thank you.
So, just keep up the great work, and we're glad to be just a little part of that.
We appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Mayor Petro?
Thank you so much for what you said earlier. I appreciate it. Anything I can do to help the preservation of this town, this little town of ours, I'm in. I just want to say you've done an incredible job, and I know this is probably the last time I'm going to be able to speak to you from this capacity.
Yeah.
And I just have to tell you, you are just a gem in our city to be running that campus, and the way you do it is nothing short of amazing. I think that you mentioned two things that really hit the mark for me. Number one, how heritage tourism, how important that is to our town and other towns, and people don't understand how many people come because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you share that with Spady. We get people into this town that would never have thought of coming to Delray Beach because of what you're doing and what Spady's doing, and so keep that alive. It's really our resource to our history. If we don't have this, people who are coming in here don't know where we started and how we got to the place that we are. You and Spady are doing that for us, so I just can't tell you how invaluable that is as far as a gift to the city. So
Thank you for recognizing that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think impressive is a good word for it. It's really unbelievable to think about the amount of stuff that you guys do and put out there. And on top of that, the amount of stuff you intake and archive at the same time. I got to see it a couple months ago now. The scope of it was just unbelievable. We're so fortunate to have.
It's bigger than people think.
It's crazy.
It's
I know.
It's
Unbelievable.
I know. Yeah.
So we're so fortunate to have a historical preservation organization like this in our town.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling Delray's story and for protecting it.
Thank you. Well, us and Spady, we do it together. So.
Oh, it's great that you partner with Spady and all the other organizations.
Well, we wish we could do more. We see each other in passing, and we're both so stretched. But Spady's been great this past year, even though when I said we partnered together, we didn't do events per se, but they're always very helpful when we need assets to tell stories. They have an archive too, and so they're always very helpful in that way.
Great.
So thank you.
You did bring up tourism.
Yes.
Spady did recognize that the county does have dollars, so maybe get with Spady as well as our friends at the Arts Garage. Find out you might be able to get some more money from the county.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Add it to your list.
Yes.
That little short list that you have of all the things
we
to
need
do.
garden volunteers. Come help us with the garden.
There you go.
Feel better, Winnie. Thank you. Next up, our friends from Spady.
All right.
Miss Farrington. Welcome.
Poor Winnie. Take a couple of days vacation.
There you go.
That's not going to happen.
You know her too.
I know her,
Mhm.
yes. Hi, I am Charlene Farrington. I am the Executive Director of the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum, as if you guys didn't know that. The Spady Museum is thank you for allowing us to do this, by the way, today. We always appreciate being able to come in and, toot our horns a little bit. The Spady Museum is a primary resource for people seeking information about the city's Black history. We attract resident and non-resident visitors to attend our programs and events. In our marketing and outreach efforts, which is those county dollars, by the way, we focus on encouraging visitors to come to Delray Beach, particularly from outside of the county, to contribute to the economic health and wellness of our city and to bring about growth and development in the area where we are located. Oh boy, that's not pretty. Do you have the presentations in front of you?
Yes, we can see
Okay,
them.
because you can't see that. I'm sorry. The Spady, I'll have to remember and do not use goldenrod. The Spady Museum is a primary resource for people seeking information about the city's Black history. We attract I'm sorry, I'm reading that again. These are the programs supported by our A-Guide application. And if you will notice, there are hot links in the presentation. They take you to photos and videos of each of these activities that we held this year, starting October 1st, 2022. Our visitation increased this year, and we have taken that opportunity to reinforce the importance of the preservation of Black history in America, which, as you all know, is one of the many facets of American history. As you can see, we hosted 4 exhibits this year. The exhibit titled Strong Communities Emerging, curated by museum staff, includes material from our archives that introduce Mr. Spady and the historic home that he lived in, Bahamian immigrant Susan Williams and her daughter's historic home, the period of Reconstruction in America, and the settlement of South Florida's East Coastal communities, including Delray Beach. This is our most popular exhibit, especially for visitors. They want to come and find out about the way our community was created. And this is the narrative that connects us with our 50-plus museum partners around the state of Florida. Now showing, however, at the Spady Museum through December is an exhibit called Thresholds. This is our 3rd guest-curated exhibit this year. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I encourage you to stop by when you can. This exhibit is attractive to creative people, so we invite you to spend some time in our space photographing or sketching or painting your favorite pieces. We gave one-on-one tours to over 2,500 people this year and reached another 1,000 people through public presentations and events. And this is only through those CRA-funded activities. These numbers do not include events that were organized by other people and were held at the museum, nor do they include our youth activities. As you can imagine, January, February, and March are our busiest months. In the coming year, we have 3 exhibits planned, in addition to collaborating with the Cornell Museum on their new exhibit coming up titled Reimagining Palm Beach County, which is set to open in February. Each of these exhibits have additional program dates for curator and artist talks and public workshops. Scheduled bus tours, as you'll see, the dates coincide with our major events, in addition to being available year-round. Our Juneteenth date is still to be determined. This is a collaborative event with Arts Garage, and planning for this event is underway. And we have something exciting that hopefully we can make it happen. We expect our A-Guide supported schedule to expand, as it does every year, to include additional lectures, panels, pop-up exhibits, author talks, and book signings, in collaboration with other partner organizations around the state as the year progresses. This year, we added 19 additional programs to our schedule. The board, staff, and volunteers of the Spady Museum Want to thank you sincerely for your ongoing support as we navigate through another dark period in our state's history. Black history is under attack by revisionists who are attempting to dispute and in some cases eradicate the experiences of Black people in America. The preservation of Black archives and historic sites is more critical than ever, and your support is a profoundly positive addition to the historical account of Delray Beach. And I thank you.
Thank you. Mayor, would you like to start off?
Doing an amazing job. And I just have to say, you know, what would Delray Beach be without our Black history? And that's really what you're showcasing daily. We started with Black history, we continue with Black history, and we will have Black history going into the future. So anybody who's trying to eradicate it, good luck. This is our beginnings.
Thank you for saying
that. You've got our support, or my support, I should say, and continue doing this great job that you've been doing. Thank you.
Rob?
Thank you. Thank you for everything you guys do to exhibit and preserve really a critical facet to our history here. And I'm glad you made the revisionist comment, because it really is a scary time in this state. And what you guys are doing is absolutely crucial. It always has been, but especially now. And you guys do a really impressive amount of stuff from like a pretty small space. So we really appreciate the hard work you do. And thank you.
Thank you.
Well, first, in regards to that comment, Black history is under attack. If Black history is under attack, then history is under attack as a whole. I think what's most impressive, and I learned a lot when I was doing some research about you for the Fun Stand-Up Teachers event, is that like many organizations in Delray Beach, but Spadey's really doing this, is you're out in the world exporting our story. Mm-hmm. You're out in other cities, in other spaces. I think I was like shocked by how many interviews I found that you've done and where you've been published, and the podcasts that you've been part of, all talking about what we're doing here in Delray. And one of the things that I don't think you mentioned was the Crossing Overtown event that you have coming up, where you're going to be down in Miami in partnership. I have it here with the Jewish Federation of SPBC. And what you're doing there. So here you are at a big event down in Miami, and you're talking about Delray Beach.
Actually, we're pulling Miamians up. We're having it at Cornell Museum.
Oh, it's good.
So
it's
they're
here.
Coming here.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be
nice.
here. Oh, well, that's
coming here.
That's incredible. Yeah, even better, right? That's incredible. So thank you for going out into the world and telling the story about Black history and about its importance here in Delray Beach, because I think that's an important element.
My pleasure. I love it.
Yes. And of course, I will not even talk about the attack on Black history, because that's a very touchy subject with me, and we'll be here all day. So anyway, thank you for what you do. Thank you for preserving and sharing the history of our people here in our community, Palm Beach County, because there's no other institution like the one that you manage, and it is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I too join my colleagues on what's being attacked, the attack on our history, which does include Black history. It's very scary, but you have our support. Again, Spadey had difficulties and challenges, and you came in and you took the reins, and it's very, very nice to see things flourishing. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Great
so
to see
much.
you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And next, the library.
I have to admit, I'm pretty intimidated by that Cannes Film Festival entry that we got from Marjorie. I'll do my best. This is what I'm doing. Okay, good. Yay, good. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Banta. I'm the Executive Director of the Delray Beach Public Library. I've been with the library for 29 years, and this is my second year as Executive Director, and as always, it's a great pleasure to speak to you guys. The library is an essential service to our city. Like every free public library is to every community, our library is essential to the health and well-being of our community. The benefits are long-term, providing our citizens a guided path forward wherein they can live their best lives and reach their full potential. The CRA's A-Guide funding for Sundays and Mondays in our Technology Training and Innovation Lab, TTIL, provide free and equitable access for library services during times convenient to residents and businesses. The library is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. We raise approximately 20% of our budget through private donations and grants. Our partnership with the city and the CRA have saved taxpayers considerable money, not only through use of our free resources, but also because the library is exempt from the Palm Beach County Library Taxing District, as the library is funded directly from the city of Delray Beach. This saves Delray taxpayers approximately $8.3 million annually. Here we go. Tax savvy. We are open every week for approximately 61 hours. 13 hours are on Sundays and Mondays thanks to CRA funding. These are key days for students, families, and businesses who need access to our free Wi-Fi, 60-plus open computers, classes, and spaces to work and study. Monday is one of our busiest days, and usage in the evening is just as steady as in the daytime hours. We have over 134,780 physical items in our entire collection and well over 1 million items in our digital and streaming resources. Allow me to quantify that, how these vast resources help pay off in large dividends for our library patrons. I've lost my place. So here we are. If our patrons had to pay for all the materials checked out in 2022, it would have cost them collectively approximately $1.3 million. If a patron wished to subscribe for access to our online database services, it would cost them $24,000 annually. Ticket sales for all of our programs would have come to $54,000. And of course, the amount of joy, life enhancement, and contentment all these services brought families is beyond any dollar figure. Shown here is our robust programming statistics and social media presence. We had a total of 1,687 programs last year over all age groups, with over 12,000 in attendance. Both stats up about 30% from last year. An important aspect of our annual program has been the CRA-funded TTIL, Technology Training and Instruction Lab. Our TTIL program trains adults and teens in cutting-edge technology, including podcasting and our state-of-the-art recording studio. In addition to our TTIL program, stumble that every time, the library is hosting an AT&T-sponsored computer basics classes beginning this month and running through the year. These classes cover computer basics, Windows 10, internet basics, and email basics. As you know, many citizens within the CRA district will benefit greatly from these series of classes, all designed to close the vast digital divide and make attendees workforce ready. We are grateful to the CRA for your continued support of the TTIL space and the tremendous impact it has on the small business community. CRA's crucial funding for the TTIL program allows the library to keep all the expensive technology cutting edge. The TTIL program, along with the AT&T classes for computer basics, will serve those in the CRA district well. The library has excellent, consistent programming for adults. This year, the library hosted over 400 programs with more than 2,500 in attendance. That's just adult programs. Most memorable were the popular ESL programs, English as a Second Language programs, a 5-week series of classes which we're repeating again this year, for families and middle school children wherein participants practice reading, writing, and speaking in English. Classes are generally attended by 40 to 50 people. Also of note, World Singing Day brought more than 100 people into our library for a global sing-along, and Miss Moses, a dramatic reading about the life of Harriet Tubman by local playwright Anderson Kurtz, was performed by the Tabernacle Drama and Assembly of West Palm Beach. Our CRA budget request is for no increase from last year. We are requesting a total of $443,000 for A-Guide funding. Program A, $418,000, Program B, $25,000. This is my first opportunity as Executive Director to express my deep gratitude to the CRA and to offer our thanks for the tremendous partner you've been over all these years. We started in 2009. So that was 15 years. I remember when our relationship with the CRA started, and it was a lifesaver as it is now. So the CRA has always been a great friend to the library, and it has been a great friend to those we serve. It is and always has been a privilege to work with you in achieving such wonderful results. Thank you for your time.
Michael, thank you. It's always good to see you. Mr. Long, we'll start with you.
I'll start off by saying we have an awesome library, so thank you, Michael, to you and your team, and Kay. I think last time you guys were here, I raved about how impressed and blown away I was when I saw like the education labs and the recording. There was a kid coming in to use the recording studio. When I was blown, it was so cool. You guys go so far and above and beyond what a traditional library does, and it's clear how much benefit and access you give to members of our community that may not have it otherwise to education and technology. So it's really a crucial part of our city, and really proud of our library. So thank you for the hard work.
Thank you. On behalf of my staff, thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and also your team for doing a great job for our city. And like I've said in the past, it's amazing. Most people don't understand that if we didn't have you here, we would be paying a higher tax for the library system across the county. And interestingly enough, our citizens are more than able to go to the county system and use that just as if it was their own home base. It just keeps the tax part of it lower for our and also our programming specific to what we want to program it for, to reach our citizens. So thank you for that. It's very interesting that you mentioned how that this is a resource, or essential services for people. I had an interesting situation yesterday, as a matter of fact, talking to somebody. I won't mention the name of the person, but it's a family member who I asked to get online so that we could pick something out. And this family member told me, I got to get to the library because I've had to let my internet go because of the crunch of the economy.
Right.
It's interesting. You don't know these things because nobody tells you. It's an embarrassing situation. But, the fact that there is a source out there for everybody, including the person that I was speaking with, to offer that is just amazing, because it doesn't leave somebody in the past. It really does allow them to be able to still maintain. It's a little bit more difficult, but they can, continue to do what they were doing before. So that's
really
like
nice to hear. I really appreciate that.
Like you said, an essential service. It is absolutely and more so than probably a lot of us even know until you stumble across information like that. And again, the fact that the library is touching all ages, everybody, all socioeconomic classes, it doesn't matter. It's just a place where people can go to be able to get the access to the things that they need. And I hope that we continue to see you in this position. You've done a great job, and thank you for the 2 years that you've served.
I hope so too.
Absolutely. Oh, you have. Appreciate it. Thank you again for everything
Mayor.
you do.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Angela.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Thank you for the passion that you have for what you do. You truly love being a librarian, and I know that you are generational. I've always looked at, being a teacher of the library as an extension of the classroom, but it's much more than that, for our community. As everyone has said, is, the programs that you provide and the services is just for our whole community. And I, too, have a relative, you probably know him, because he's there every day off to take care of all of his computer needs because he doesn't have the facilities at home. So thank you for all you do.
It is absolutely my pleasure and my privilege. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just like to piggyback on what the mayor said in regards to the vast demographics that you cover and the multi-generational. Why most libraries are just like tipping their toe into the digital social media world. You guys are on TikTok. Adam's not even on TikTok yet.
Me either, Adam.
I don't need the Chinese going through
Me either.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm not
That's
on.
a boomer comment, Adam.
I'm
That's
not
a
on
boomer comment.
But way before libraries were even thinking about adding digital books or podcasts, or certainly before they were bringing robotics and recording studios in, you guys were well ahead of it, which puts you in a really great spot for our community to service them during the pandemic as well.
Yes.
And so I know that's a huge challenge. I know that's not easy, but you continue to redefine what a library is. and you're doing so for each generation and what they expect, while holding on, right, to all, and still providing all the needs for the generations that have come before them. And that can't be an easy task. So I commend you for that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Michael,
Thank you.
and everyone at the library for all the services you provide. As I've said before, my mother, who spent 31 years in the Toledo public school system, and many of those years as, she didn't want to go by librarian. She was a media specialist at Wade High School in Toledo, Ohio. I grew up in a library household, so I just...
My mother was a media specialist as well.
Yeah, I guess it's, who knows, fancy, but growing up in that environment, I know the hard work and the hours and the dedication you all put into this. So thank you very much to you and everyone at the library.
Thanks. Thanks very much, guys.
Okay. Renee.
Yes. All right. So we're at 4 o'clock, but I just have really brief comments about what's next. So all of the A-Guide agreements are on our regular meeting for approval on consent, so it seems like all is well. We can probably go forward with that. So I just wanted to highlight the next steps, because we had discussed about this being the last year that we're doing the A-Guide program and having the funding going over to the city. So I just wanted to lay that out there. I have been in conversation with city staff about how that will look. The only group that, I guess is still appropriate for CRA to fund is the Delray Beach Land Trust, since it's housing. So we would look to make some kind of a modified process, so there still is an application similar to A-Guide, but it wouldn't be with all the groups. It would just be with the Community Land Trust.
Great.
All right. More to come. Thank you.
Okay, and is there anything else for the workshop portion?
That's all.
Okay, we'll adjourn now. Oh, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to say something before everybody left. Any one of these groups that came in, any one of them alone make this town shine. You guys together make this town just absolutely, it's like brilliant. I mean, I'm sitting here listening, it gives me goosebumps. Every single one of you guys coming up here and talking about what you're doing. And that's what separates us, and that's what makes us so unique from some of our counterparts up and down the coast. Keep it up, guys, because this little tiny 4x4 square mile city is doing an awesome job, and we are being watched from all aspects, including like even the police department. And I saw, coming in and how in the homelessness, we're really on the cutting edge. And I just want to say, you guys make us look so great out there. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Renee, we'll call the regular meeting about 4:10. Is that good?